Hey, going live. Oh, bottles are already popped over here. You know how it goes. Man, this is the Players Club. You ready, Shot?
Hell yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Players Club.
This is the part I like right here when they say this.
The bitch switch back to the old school, old fools know this here thing we do so original. I got to have it, lavish is how we establish on the real love when it feels good to have it.
Dipping down the street, looking oh so sweet, bumping to the beat.
The streets that keep me busy, making bread, and I'm
What we really start off with this right here. Let's
here I go, ballin', making dough, working for myself, cause it thrills me so.
I keep women on my line, cause they know
This is how we out here,
that
man.
I'm ballin', yeah, ballin'.
Oh, that's everyone we
Here
do.
I go,
Down, down,
go,
I
Oh my
can't
God.
myself.
yeah, you blew my mind.
Man, they gonna have me on one tonight, Shot, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna do it to them tonight too bad, but that's how it is, man. Welcome in, man. After hours, the Players Club, man. I'm Taylor Morgan with my guy, The Shot. Man, what's good, Brody?
Man, you know what it is. Chilling. You know how I
Yeah.
do.
Oh, I feel you, man. I'm over here, got me a little Prosecco. I just wanted to switch it up. I, always want to go so hard. Sometimes it's a celebration, and tonight's Shot, man, I'm ready to celebrate, man, for good reason. So cheers to you.
Cheers to
My
you.
guy. Man, absolutely, man. It's good to see you, man, as always. But bro, we have a guest,
Yeah.
and if I'm being honest, man, it's a special guest. If I'm being real, for me, it's somebody, or for us, somebody that we know has accomplished a whole lot here in ACW. They are a 3-time hardcore champion. They are a former tri-tag team champion. They are a former intercontinental champion. They are a former tag team champion, the first ever Triple Crown winner, and wouldn't you know it, 2-time ACW World Heavyweight Champion. Man, he is somebody that is an absolute terror, as you can't tell from that resume. He is the one and only motherfucking Reese Flores, man. Thank you so much for coming to hang out, man, with the Players Club.
It's a pleasure. Just a quick correction. Second ever ACW Triple Crown winner.
Second ever ACW Triple Crown winner. You got to think, and we talk about this a lot. There's a lot of people here in ACW. There's a lot of men and women that are competing for the top spot and be able to do that. So to be the first ever Triple Crown winner, the second one of two Triple Crown winner, the second ever. What's it like? Because is there any more pressure being the second? I know the first person is the one to do it, but and the first is always, there's a bunch of mountains to climb there. But the second person to do it, typically, they seem to say it's a little bit easier, for them to get there. Would you say that's the case? Because I'm one of those guys that thinks it's probably harder the second time around.
Well, to be very honest with you both, when it came around to kind of being revealed that I was the second ever Triple Crown, I had no idea that I was even close. You know, I've been in ACW near enough 5 years, and I spent a lot of time essentially just following the river as I was going along. So then when I won the I think it was the tag titles with Father Mayhem, it was kind of revealed like, hey, shit, you're the second ever Triple Crown winner, and it's kind of like, well, fuck, like,
right?
What? Nobody told me in advance. Like, it's not as if it was a goal that I set out to achieve. I didn't, wake up every morning like, I'm gonna win the second ever Triple Crown in ACW history. Like, it just totally out of nowhere, completely took me by surprise. I think it kind of took everyone by surprise, to be honest. But second ever's not too bad,
Oh, listen, bro, there's nothing wrong with being the second person ever to do something. Like, I mean, it's usually once you get down to like the 13th person to ever do something like that, then it becomes incredibly forgettable. When you're talking about the first couple things, that's awesome, man. So, and again, man, we're so glad you were here, man. Shot and I, when we were like, man, who we're gonna have on? It's kind of like, man, what about Reese?
All right.
Like, ooh, that could be fun, man.
It's like a weird crossover episode, like
it.
It is. It is. And we wanted to get you and Father Mayhem together. Like, we can still get him if he's around, if he's available. Like, we can still punch him in, if he wants to, come through and chill. But I mean, so I want to let's start there because you guys, the NWO Wolfpack has obviously had an amazing impact on what teams have been able to do, what factions have been able to do in ACW. How did that start? How did y'all link?
The relationship between Father Mayhem and I hasn't always been as peachy keen as it comes across in our promos, the way we interact on Purgatory. For the longest time since my debut to really only like a year and a half, 2 years into my career in ACW, we couldn't stand one another. Like, I was easily influenced by a former member of ACW, a former leader of DX, a faction that I joined pretty early in my career.
I'm sorry, you gotta refresh my memory because I might not know. Who are we talking about?
We're talking about Ryan Young.
Oh, man, let's go ahead. Let's put a name on it, man. It's all good,
Yeah, no, I'm not afraid to throw mud.
Okay, well, we know. Oh, I know. I know. I found out the hard way on Purgatory this past Thursday.
Like, I was so kind of led astray by this individual who truly I did consider to be one of my greatest friends, despite being a world away from each other. He was there for me for so much, and to find out that he was this kind of backstabbing, evil, conniving prick, it was a bit of a shock to the system. But eventually, it got to a point with Father Mayhem and I, we were discussing so much like, oh shit, Reese Flores in Wolfpack. And it was kind of, it was a joke. And then the conversations really started to get, serious, like Reese Flores in Wolfpack. And it was Vendetta, I want to say 2020, maybe 2019. No, 2020. Vendetta 2020. The event had ended and it was like, this is the right moment. This is the time. If there was ever a greater time, it's now. And we pulled the trigger on it, and the rest has literally been ACW history. Like, we've accomplished so much as a tag team, from going from hating each other to this kind of uneasy relationship to then just like words can't even describe like the tumultuous journey that we've both been on that has brought us to this point where we can look back and kind of think, why didn't we do this sooner? Why was there such a hesitation? Why was there, this kind of tiptoeing around the subject when look at everything we've accomplished. We could have accomplished it so much sooner, but I don't regret how everything kind of got to this point. I look at my wins and my losses, my no contests, my draws. They brought me to where I am today. So I can't kind of look back and kind of regret anything that I did, the things I've said, the things I've done. I've done not only for myself, but for ACW as a whole. And I think ACW is better off for it. Whereas other people might look differently. I don't concern myself with their opinion. Everything has been for myself, for the Wolfpack, and for ACW. I've cried for this company. I've bled for this company. I'm not going to say I've killed for this company, but you never know.
So
Shots been killed here.
I want to ask you some things. Like, so what was it like before ACW? Have you had any experience in this type of environment before ACW?
No, nothing.
This is a first for you.
This was a first for me. I remember, and I've told this story a few times. I don't know whether I've said it on Purgatory or not. But the first ever league that I was invited to was a Marvel Wrestling League. And yeah, like there was kind of no kind of like deliberation in my head, like, oh, maybe that'd be pretty cool. I took one look and thought, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of.
So what does a Marvel League even look like? Like, it's because in my head I'm thinking, okay, so just pick a Marvel character, create them, and then so I get to be Juggernaut, right? And show up and be.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That sounds like it could be kind of cool, but not maybe every week.
Yeah, you kind of get sick if you've picked somebody like fucking Squirrel Girl or something, or
if you pick a really bad Marvel hero or character, like, I mean, you've pretty much fucked yourself. Like, no one wants to be Jubilee.
Exactly.
Right?
all the heavy hitters were already picked. So what am I going to be fucking, a part of the Eternals? Am I going to be a fucking X-Force? Like, the good names were already picked. So that was nothing that I concerned myself with. And then I used to play a lot of like online matches and stuff. And one day I fought a man called Joby Awesome, a veteran of ACW, even though he's kind of fallen off and disappeared. And he was like, hey, do you want to join this league that I'm a part of? And I think at that point I was kind of like, shit, I don't have anything else to do. And I joined, and there's never been a moment where I thought, man, what a stupid idea this was. I've loved
really?
it.
So did you go ahead, Sean? I'm sorry.
No, I said that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I
was gonna ask, man. So you never had that rookie wall that people hit and was like, bro, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. Because I'll be honest, I did. I'll be 100% about it. Like, yeah, man, fuck this thing. I'm not playing anymore.
It's kind of easy to hit that. What was that?
No, I did the same way as a rookie and a vet. I had to take time off. Well, yeah.
It's easy to hit that wall and kind of think, well, these guys have been doing it for, God knows how long. I'm not going to reach that level. But, it's not hard to reach that level. Like, you look at some of the people that have been here since season 1, Razor Rogers, Alex Bradley, The Shot, Hellraiser. Like, some of those really haven't reached the pinnacle of ACW. And, they're still here. They're still going at a pretty consistent level. So, that kind of rookie mentality of, I've had 3 losses in a row. Fuck this.
It's tough though, man. Like that's a tough thing to because here's the cold part. I think Alpha Championship Wrestling is the perfect name for this company, because I feel like everybody that's here, and you got guys that are and ladies that are from all over the world, as we sit here and speak to you as you're in Wales right now at 3 o'clock in the morning, or 4 o'clock now, right?
4:23.
4. Jeez, my God, man. And so I'm one of those people that feel like, and Shot's one of those people, I think we kind of talked about this, that there's nobody better than me where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody better than Taylor Morgan in this area. Like, if this is like, we're all like the world champions of our territories. If we were kind of breaking things down like that in the VA Philly area, there's nobody better than The Shot. off top. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody better than you in the United Kingdom. There's nobody better than Taylor Morgan here in Vegas, or like it's just kind of one of those things, you know, that I've. So it's tough when you take those losses, and when you take multiple losses in a row, like that's deflating, man. That's deflating. Did you ever have that moment? Now, maybe not necessarily because of losses, but just shit's not popping the way that it's supposed to be right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely have. When I first joined ACW, obviously there was a backstage chat, and it was a mess.
Let's talk about that too. I want to get to that too.
It was a mess.
You don't want to hear about
Shots over here laughing.
that.
You know where I'm laughing.
Bro.
I'm too.
Shit was messy, you know.
I'm trying to tell you. I told him. I said that shit earlier, man.
I don't think really you can kind of put it into words to describe the toxic environment that it was, but at the same time, it was so much. It was fun when you were on the other end of you know, giving the toxic behavior, but when you're receiving it, like, oh man,
Right.
you really felt up against the wall. But to answer your question, like, there was plenty of times where I was kind of like, you know, this isn't everything it cracked up to be. But by the time season 2 rolled around, because I joined maybe a month, 2 months before the before that inaugural season.
Right.
By the time season 2 rolled around, I felt like I was already in a position where, you know, I was a recognizable name, and I was getting kind of the reaction that I felt I was deserved. Obviously, other people would disagree. You know, I've got a pretty big mouth. I've made a lot of enemies in ACW.
Really?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that
Who'd
too.
have thought, right? Who'd have fucking thought?
I wouldn't have guessed.
But I've said some horrible things. I've done some horrible things. But I feel like I've cemented my place in ACW now, that if I went on a 10-match losing streak, you know, I'd still be Reese Flores. I'd still be Whitney Abbott. I'd still be.
Yeah, I honestly don't think if you ever went on a 10-match losing streak, which number one is kind of hard to fathom in itself, but if it did happen, at the end of the day, like you said, you're still Reese Flores. Like, I mean, you're still. I've been on Purgatory with you, and I always appreciate you guys, you know, having me and the shot on, you know, to come and talk, you know, talk shop with everybody. So you know how I feel about the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about, you know, that status and what it means, you know, and obviously with all respect to every single title, you know, in ACW, the name World Heavyweight Championship always hits a little harder for me. Like, for instance, I tell you, middleweight championship of the world, light heavyweight championship of the world. These are great names. World heavyweight champion.
Mhm.
It's just different, right? So you had that belt. So no matter what, twice actually. So no matter what you do, like, trust me, homie, your legacy is cemented here in ACW. But I want to go back because I know the shot was talking. We was talking earlier about it. So tell me about the chat line. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is something that no longer exists in ACW, and only like the real ones or the originals know about it. So tell me a little bit about the chat and kind of where it got messy for you.
Where to start, to be honest. When I first joined it, it was kind of, you know, in World War One, there was the trenches, and in the middle you had no man's land. The ACW chat was essentially no man's land. There was
Anything goes. Yep, for real.
very little governance, very little regulation, a lot of shit talk.
So it was the internet. Okay.
It was
So
internet personified.
Facebook and Twitter. Okay. Yeah.
It was ACW's little corner, and it was toxic. It was horrible. But the relationships that were built in that chat, you know, they stand the test of time. How horrible a place it was, and like nothing can kind of do it any justice. Like I could sit here for a good few hours and explain a lot of what I remember, like the controversies, the careers that have been ended because of the ACW chat, be it because they left because of what happened in the chat, be it because they were fired because of what happened in the chat. You know.
So, you know, I'm messy. I'm sorry. I'm the messy one of the group. Shot, not so much. It's a little more reserved than I am with that, but I'm messy and I want to know. So tell me. So more than likely there's some guys you said their ACW's careers were ended, or stopped at that point. Tell me about what an instance that you remember, that shit just went way left.
Oh man, you'd probably remember as well a group called Hell's Legion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a group of three. I think it was 3 white guys, 1 black guy.
Oh, let's say this sounds like it's about to.
Yeah. From what I remember, they were all. I think.
Any story that starts there was 3 white guys and a black guy. It's like, okay,
it sounds like the build up to a really bad joke, but they were all kind of from the South, and I have no experience really with those kind of people in the South, if you get what I mean, like the very conservative, racist, horrible.
Things are very different here in America.
Yeah, there was a lot of N-words being thrown around. There was a lot of jokes about suicide. There was a lot of homophobia, and it was all coming from the 3 white guys. And the black guy, he wouldn't really react to it in any way, whether he was kind of used to that environment of white people just kind of casually throwing the word around. But when he was kind of confronted, like, these are your boys, and they're saying that shit, and he was just kind of like, like, I get you can't control what your friends are saying, but like, do you have no kind of response to that? Like, are you just going to let shit like that slide? And he just kind of never really gave a shit about it. And ACW can be a horrible place sometimes, but we do have the rules in place for a reason. Like, rules against homophobia, rules against discrimination for whatever reason. ACW can be a horrible place, but at the same time, ACW management looks after those people that are in that kind of protected characteristics. Like, I'm happily a part of the LGBTQ, being a pansexual man, and if anyone were to use that sexuality against me, ACW management wouldn't kind of just get over it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you look at some of the other people in ACW that are a part of the LGBTQ, Robbie Lee, Rain Banks, Nathan, they're all really flamboyant isn't the word, but they're very comfortable with their sexuality. They're very open.
Absolutely.
And they're proud about it. Especially Rain Banks, like being a gay black man, for him to kind of be open and be perfectly fine and feel safe to do so, just goes to show that ACW is, for all its bad sides, a wonderful place to be, a safe place to be, no matter who you are, what you believe, everyone's welcome.
So I want to hear some funny. So just 2 things. One, speaking on Rain Banks, so for whatever reason, I accidentally heard my phone ringing in my pocket. I was like, what the hell? And so I accidentally called Rain for whatever reason. So Rain hits me back. Ho, why are you trying to get in touch with me? It's got to be sassy. He's not just going to hit back and be like, hey, I'm sorry, did you accidentally call me? Like, it's always going to be some sass. But no, I absolutely agree with you. The one thing, and the shot and I spoke about this once before on After Hours, is I said when I first got here, one of the characters that really popped for me was Rain. It was like, man, here's somebody that's really living in their truth, and they're really not just living their character, but their character is a reflection of them and who they really are. And so you look around in wrestling and you see the guys that are just playing the gimmick, people that are just kind of playing the gimmick, and the ones that really get a chance to be themselves. And so that's actually a perfect segue and to the next part, for us is, man, who is Reese Flores? So we know, man, you're, just a total badass, is going at the bottom of the screen right now. All of the accomplishments of one Reese Flores, here on After Hours, man. Again, 3-time hardcore champion, 2-time world heavyweight champion, tri-tag team champion, intercontinental champion, ACW tag champions. Like there's nothing that you haven't done, at this point. But we're all kind of made up of certain guys, right? Like, who, when we grew up watching wrestling, there's like, man, that guy's cool. Or those moves are cool. Or that was cool. And if I were there, I would wear that too. Mm-hmm. Who are Reese Flores? And we're going to get to Whitney Abbott here in a bit. Don't worry. We're going to have plenty of time to talk about Whitney. But what are the guys that make up Reese Flores?
I was watching wrestling at a pretty weird time. Like, I remember my earliest wrestling memory is kind of one that's really obscure and kind of it's kind of hard to place. I distinctly remember the blue bar steel cages, and I remember someone falling from the steel cage. That's the earliest thing I can remember. I don't know who it was. I don't know what pay-per-view it was. No idea. But Reese Flores is essentially the man you see before you.
How long ago was that?
With a little bit of, kind of the Miz, a little Miz mixed in there.
Hold on, shot. Say that one more time. Who?
A little bit of the Miz.
Awesome.
Only a little. I can't really say anyone else that has been mixed in, because when I had the idea of Reese Flores, I wasn't watching any kind of wrestling at the time. I was completely detached from the product. The last thing I remember before I started watching again was, God, it might have been the death of Eddie Guerrero, maybe even the death of Chris Benoit. Like, those are the earliest things I can remember, and I didn't start watching again WrestleMania 2016. So there's such a gap in in product that I've actually seen. The knowledge is there. I know what happened. I know some of the storylines that were going on, but I haven't seen anything, like, sat down and physically watched anything from that era. So I don't know. There's not really a lot of influence from the main product in Reese Flores, to be honest.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Who are Reese Flores' top 5 all time?
I might get some flack for it.
Hey, this is Reese. Yeah.
In no particular order. Kevin Owens. I think
love KO.
His PWG days, his Ring of Honor.
KO, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Nah,
yes.
I fucks with KO, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, are you not a fan of KO, Shot? Are you breaking news?
I thought you said fuck KO.
Oh,
no,
oh my gosh.
Slander.
I don't know if anybody's ever said, man, I'm not a big fan of Kevin.
Right.
Vince McMahon is maybe the only person ever.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Number 4 would, and this is kind of my weird pick, Scotty 2 Hotty.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
He was one of my favorites when I was a child. Like, the way he'd come down to the ring with, like, just fucking boogieing down the ramp.
Hey, man, we can get into a whole. Absolutely. I'm one of those people that feel like the Attitude Era is often forgotten, or often, lauded for guys like obviously Austin and Rock and, stuff like that. But we forget about Too Cool and how much of a pop they would get when they come out. We forget about the Acolytes or the APA and how, groundbreaking they were. It was just a regular ass door there that people were like, there's certain guys in the Attitude Era, and Scotty 2 Hotty was actually one of those guys for me, like the Worm, like that part at the Royal Rumble where, they Too Cool does the little thing in the ring with Rikishi and he throws him. Like, Too Cool was awesome. Scotty 2 Hotty was great. Okay, that's a good one.
Next is probably Eddie Guerrero, and I know that's a safe bet.
All 3 of us choose Eddie Guerrero in our top 5, and every type of top 5 we said Eddie Guerrero has been in there for all.
You'd be pretty hard pressed to find anyone that wouldn't think Eddie Guerrero is one of the best to ever lace up a pair of boots.
Yeah.
But that kind of goes for the whole Guerrero family. Hector, Mondo.
Chavo was my guy.
Yeah,
Chavo was my guy.
Chavo,
maybe not so much.
Classic, right? Yeah, hell yeah.
Chavo. We got 3. 2 more. My favorite from this kind of modern generation, I know I included Kevin Owens, but LA Knight. I remember him being Eli Drake in TNA.
Absolutely. Eli Drake was phenomenal, man. Eli Drake was great.
the greatest promo of the modern era, like the Shoes of a Champion promo. What? Like fucking awesome! Like a fantastic promo.
Yeah.
And probably my greatest of all time is probably RVD. To be honest, I remember being a little fucking 9-year-old hearing One of a Kind for the first time and thinking, I don't know what fucking music this is, but I like this shit. This is awesome.
I was a big RVD fan, and he's, Shot is a Philly guy, so he got a chance to really be in the element of ECW. When ECW was really when RVD was that was the house RVD built and everything. So that Rob Van Dam,
we saw ECW.
absolutely that Rob Van Dam was great, man. So well, let's do this real quick, man. Shot, you got a drink in your hand? I'm gonna go ahead and pour another prosecco.
Look, I do refill my glass.
Let's go ahead and you gotta refill your glass. Let's go ahead and do a collective drink together. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna, I see Reese go ahead. So can I tell a story, Reese, as we're doing this? So I'm in Wales, oddly enough, right? I'm a senior I've just graduated my senior year, and we're like I said, we're in Wales and we're just walking around. We're all wearing the same outfit, like a bunch of jackasses. And this little kid comes up to us, and he's with his dad or something like that. He goes, "Look, Dad, Facts got all the same trainers on," and they pointed at our shoes, and we all looked down like we do have all the same trainers on, like some idiots. And it's one of those things. And so we're walking around, and all my buddies just smoking up a storm. And so this guy comes up and is like, "Man, can I bum a fag?" And we were like, "What?" Like, mind you, we're American. Number one, you're swearing. Your language is like, it's English, but it ain't like to us. Like, I'm sure ours is English to you, but it's not at all.
Yeah.
Like, so it's one of those things. But he was like, "Man, can I bum a fag?" And we were like, "What?" Like, do whatever you want to. And mind you, this is 2001. So we are just, I'm like, so man, you can do whatever you want to in your personal time, but like, we don't really care. And not knowing that, we're asking for a cigarette. And like, that means something totally different, in 2001 here in the States, man. So yeah.
Like, my greatest fear, I've never set foot in the States. But my greatest fear is coming to America, going to like a restaurant or a bar,
liking it too much,
going outside and being like, "Hey, can I pinch a fag?" And then like getting
there used to be a time where that would get you punched, but now it'll get you punched for being intolerant here in Portland or here in Oregon or here in the States. But I will tell you this, and the Shot can share with a test. There are plenty of places here in the States that are awesome to visit, man. Regardless of what you may see, we're not all crazy. We don't all love guns. Some of us do, but not all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, so America, most of it is cool. So I'll tell you this. You come visit Taylor Morgan at the Shot anytime, and we'll show you a good time here in America. So let's go ahead, man. Shot, if you don't mind, man. Let's raise a drink. Let's drink to Reese Flores, man. For all you've accomplished. Thank you for joining us here on After Hours Players Club, man. Let's have one. Man, Shot, bro. It's on you, buddy.
All right, so I want to know, you've been here since almost the beginning. What do you remember about the beginning of ACW? What was your first impression when you came in? Like, what did you think of the landscape, the talent? Were you afraid once you got to get into competition? Like, what was going through your head?
Well, the landscape was totally different to what it is now, but I feel that's the case for every season. It always changes. The top dogs aren't the top dogs anymore. The mid-carders, the jobbers, whatever, they rise, they fall. Some people have one good season and then they're back in the mid-card. Some people have one good season and then they continue to improve year after year, generation of game after generation of game. My biggest fear when I joined ACW was kind of just blending into the scenery, just becoming another cog in the machine. I feel that I've completely subdued those fears, and that being the only Welshman in ACW having the weirdest voice out of everybody, be it on Purgatory, be it on the show.
You have the weirdest voice?
Yeah, well, it is strange. Like, how many people in ACW would have known a Welsh accent if they heard a Welsh accent for the first time?
Listen, man.
How many of them knew Wales existed?
Listen, man. It might be weird to you, buddy, but I'm telling you, you come here to the States, and you're like, here's another thing. For those that are watching
Be careful.
and don't know this,
Be careful.
Kieran Florence, right? Kieran.
Kieran.
Kieran Florence is fucking 6'8" tall. 6'8" tall.
With the nature of Purgatory,
No.
being it how it is, where we do it all over the Xbox and stuff, it's hard for me to prove it. But like, I can touch my ceiling.
Well, I can touch my ceiling, but I see the stairs going up there, so that's pretty.
Here I am at my front door. Like,
You are a massive man. So I'm telling you this. Your accent, your height, you are going. Can you grow a beard?
no.
First of all, before you try to do this, are you spoken for?
Yes.
Okay. Be careful.
Heard him talking to somebody before we started. Yeah.
I'm spoken for, yeah.
Wishing someone well before they went to work. So
Yeah.
he's spoken for the moment. But if we weren't spoken for, and if you came to the States, buddy, you can have your pick of whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you're, again, 6'8" with that accent, please. You'll do just fine here.
I'm well aware.
That's fine.
I'm well aware. Like, it feels exotic. Like, I feel a foreigner in a strange land, you know, when it comes to ACW, because the large majority, you know, maybe you could count on one hand the amount of people that aren't in America or Canada or, you know, that kind of that hemisphere of, you know, that upper America's part. So for me to come in with this peculiar accent, this peculiar way of speaking, I do stick out like a sore thumb. But I think, you know, the greater portion of ACW are kind of used to it by now, be it through Purgatory, be it through the voice promos that I've done, the musical promos that I've done. Like, I've acclimated ACW so that if another Welshman, God forbid, if another Welshman comes into ACW, first of all, I would bully the shit out of them. I would make them leave. There is no room for another Welshman in ACW. There's one. I will be
the only one.
The token Welshman of ACW. We don't need any more.
Well, you may not be the token, but you will definitely be the favorite. You know what I'm saying? For now, unless that guy's fucking awesome, and then we don't have a choice but to like.
I would literally find where they live.
Yeah, they are. So, go ahead, Shot. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you know. Speaking of the voice promos, I do remember that you did a song, didn't you? Did you not sing?
I've done many song promos.
Well, were you not? I'm gonna toot my own horn here. Were you not inspired by the Shot at one point? After he released, you know, one of those flaming sets that he does, and then you came back and said something. I remember that.
There was a couple times where I heard your rap promos, and I was like, oh man, I could do this. I can't rap for shit, but I could do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's probably a poorly kept secret in ACW. I can't actually play guitar. I can't actually play the ukulele.
We're gonna ask about that too. Yeah, that's something too.
Drum it. I literally just hold it and just strum. I you know, I could maybe play Bar Bar Black Sheep or like, you know, fucking what's the Jingle Bells. That's probably as far as I could get. But I have a question for the pair of you, and it's one that I've been kind of thinking about musically. Like, obviously, we're all very, I want to say musically inclined. I want your opinion on probably the greatest black black musical groups, be it any kind of genre. I'd love to know your opinion on who is the tippy top of that mountain.
So you said best, not favorite?
Best. Favorite, best, whatever, you know.
Okay. Okay. Richard, I'm gonna let you take that one. What you got?
Oh, for black artists,
Yeah. Mine
uh,
is easy.
R. Kelly, Kanye West. No, okay, no, I'm just joking. um, but to be truthful, man, R. Kelly is an amazing artist. He's a fucking creep, so it's impossible for me to
He's
include
not a
him
group.
ever.
You said group.
You said group, black artists? Oh, the Wu-Tang Clan. Done.
Excellent.
You said
Yeah.
black artists, but that's group. Now there's the Wu-Tang Clan, there's Outkast. If we're talking about music groups, like we're talking about the Temptations, we're talking about New Edition. So there's a lot of we're talking about groups. We'd have to be very, very specific when we're asking me. But if you're asking me about a rap
Did you
group,
pick any genre?
you said any genre?
Any genre.
Oh my gosh. Any genre of music group, it would probably be New Edition. And here's why.
Very good.
New Edition in itself, it first was a 5-act group. And then it became a 6th act when all the members decided to get together. But in those 6 acts, you had Bobby Brown, who was a solo act on his own, Johnny Gill, who's a solo act on his own, Ralph Tresvant, who was a solo act on his own, and then BBD, who were solo acts on their own. So in that concert, you got a full concert of all your favorite New Edition songs, and then you got your favorite Johnny Gill, favorite Bobby Brown, favorite BBD, favorite those songs. So if you're going to a concert, like they don't need to have opening acts; they can be their own opening act. And so, I would probably say greatest group of all time, New Edition. But I think in that same vein, I could say the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
That was very good. Very good.
Because of those exact same reasons. I can say the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah. Very good picks. Very good picks. I don't know if I can. I can't choose one, so I'm gonna have to go through a list like that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say Jackson 5 is the one who kind of set New Edition off. If you want to really be technical about it.
The only thing about the Jacksons is that, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of one of those things that, like, nobody was ever great, you know what I'm saying, at anything else outside of Michael. After that, like Jermaine.
Well, Jermaine, yeah, but that's a different country where he's famous.
So.
But at the same time, they were one of the biggest groups of all time, and it was a family thing. So, I mean, I'll give them that because, I mean, that's my shit. I like that shit. But also, don't forget, I'm from Philly. Boyz II Men.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say the Roots, which also would have been an acceptable
That too. I mean, come on. I got many. There are many groups. Many
Yeah,
groups.
there are.
Patti LaBelle is from Philly,
Patti LaBelle is from Philly.
and she had a group.
Yeah, the Supremes,
Not the Supremes.
the Bells. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of groups, but I think my favorite group, I would say, is Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's my favorite.
They were different, man. They were different. Are you familiar with Bone Thugs? Hey, man, Bone Thugs was different, man. Crossroads, all those other little things between there. Like, yeah, man, Bone Thugs was awesome. So that's a great question.
I think you're all missing out on quite possibly the greatest, and that's the Ink Spots. Like, I don't want to set the world on fire. It's all over, but the crying. Like,
I'm sorry, the what nows?
The Ink Spots.
Who the fuck are the Ink Spots? Have I not heard of them? I'm sorry. Break news to me. I want to know. I'm trying to be
an American group. Is it?
Fuck. Oh man,
Ink Spots. I want to know.
One of the most famous songs. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start the flames.
Let's set it ablaze right now. Let's set the world ablaze tonight. Here on After Hours with the Players Club. But no, I've never heard. So what kind of music are they?
Oh, it's old music. Like it's you kind of 1950s, 1960s music. Like they were very much.
I love like none one 60s, like not doo-wop. I don't know if that's what you call it at that point. But 60s music was great for me. I
doo-wop. I think doo-wop would be.
I can hear my neighbors. They're big like Blazer fans, and it sounds like we're losing right now. And so I'm hearing him fucking freak out. He's next door. I think there's some weird shit going on over there anyway, but I digress, from there. But let me ask you this, man. How much knowledge do you have of like American culture? Now we understand how much different it is, here being over there. Me having been over there and having been in your country, I understand how different things can be, even the television. So tell me what you know about American culture. Like, I mean, what have you seen that you like, man, I fucking love that and I want to see more of it?
American culture is such a strange thing to me because
it's not really a culture. It's just like America is just the place with a bunch of motherfuckers from different places that are here. So there's no America's favorite food is Chinese food. You know what I mean? Like, hamburgers aren't
Chinese food. It's Americanized Chinese food.
Yeah, hamburgers aren't American. Hot dogs aren't American. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things are imported from somewhere else. It's like a hodgepodge of stuff. However, television, music, fashion, you know what I'm saying? Things are just different. Cartoons, America is just different things. Tell me what you know about America. Because what I know about Europe is you guys love you in certain words.
Mm-hmm.
The letter U. I don't understand. Like color, favorite, but they're set the same, but we love the letter U. What do you know about life here in the States?
On shop too. Why you got that? Why you got that P and the E on shop? Come on, man.
The shoppy, like PPE.
No, old English, like that's
shoppy.
You may be going back 200 years ago. I can't answer that question. What the fuck do you think I'm doing? I'm not 200 years old.
Oh no, it kind of feels like we feel like you live in like Middle Earth, but we know that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. So I'm curious.
You got hobbits over there somewhere. I know you got
how much of American culture has kind of crept its way down to people in Wales?
A lot of culture. Like, obviously, despite what a certain someone in ACW thinks, Wales is not some backwoods country where we've only just discovered electricity. We do have a lot of the same things, like be they shop franchises, be they, actors or anything like that. A lot of culture, it finds its way everywhere. That's why McDonald's has, the most restaurants in the world. Like you could go to any continent, any country, you will find a McDonald's. And that's kind of America as a whole. Like that's
colonialism.
But y'all got different shit at y'all McDonald's though.
They got better shit.
We got bits and pieces that are different. And
I don't want to say it's better, Shot. I would say
it's better for you.
And I think we had this conversation for you. It's definitely more than likely better for you. But sometimes, kale is better for you. It doesn't taste the same as fucking double cheeseburger though.
No, absolutely no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better for you, but I mean, so one of those things. But is there like a certain American television or anything like that you're like? I mean, I know you probably work late and don't get a chance to watch much of it, but if you did, like, what was something that you like, man? Yeah, that shit's fun.
It's probably things like The Office, US,
the UK version.
The UK version is good, don't get me wrong, and it's kind of I can kind of say that the UK version is the superior version, mainly because it's the kind of comedy that I grew up with, and it's the kind of comedy I can relate to more than the American version. But that's kind of the opposite for you guys. You can look at the American version and be like, oh, that's the superior version. But then you look at other things like music from America performs pretty much on the same level as the music scene that we have here in the UK. Food is obviously one of the big influences from American culture, like cheeseburgers, pizza, whatever. Even though they're not American, they were brought by the Americans to the UK.
Yeah, it tastes different.
Yeah, like there's so
you
much.
You would love American McDonald's, though. I will say that.
Probably would.
Probably too much. To be real.
It's all the MSG and the flavor additives, and
you have to have soul food, man. Have you had that?
That's a good one.
Have you had it before?
I think it would kind of depend on your definition of soul food.
Okay, so have we had collard greens or mustard greens or any type of the greens?
Collard greens.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How were they prepared? That's an important thing to ask as well.
Couldn't tell you.
Were they probably a bed of salad type greens, or were they cooked like to be hot?
They were cooked to be hot.
Okay. Well, I mean that's good. You know how they're prepared and the amount of salt, peppers and stuff like that is involved isn't. I mean, I don't have to ask you about fried fish because you know fish and chips is something that's very very common. You know where you are, but yeah, there's some things.
Macaroni selection.
Mac and cheese. I was gonna say, man, that mac and cheese, man, like it's different. Like how many black friends do you have? Be real.
Like in person?
Yeah, sure. Like, man, guys that you like, man, maybe have a beer with them, maybe not. Like, you get a chance. You go to one of those when you really meet one. You go to one of their houses for dinner. Just tell me, you know what I'm saying, how it is. Especially in Europe, you're probably and Wales, you're probably going to find some people with some Jamaican backgrounds and stuff like that and everything. So, have you had Jamaican food?
I've had Jamaican food.
Yeah, man. So there's certain stuff that you already know. But come to the States, man. When you get to the States, we'll take you to a couple soul food restaurants, man. And
absolutely, Wales is such a predominantly white country. Whereas you go across the border, you go to England, London. It's a hub of culture, so you'll find so much more.
It reminded me a lot of New York.
New
York. When I was in London, a lot of New York City.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the immigrants went through. The same with London. Like, you can find more curry houses, Jamaican fusion restaurants. You can find all of that in London. But here in Wales, like, we're very protective of our food and our culture. Unfortunately, the Welsh language is one that we've kind of let slip to the wayside. Like, it's a very, very small percentage of the population that can speak Welsh fluently. Traditions like Mariloed, Dydd Gwyl Dewi, Nadolig Llawen, a lot of those have fallen off onto the wayside. And, I live in the south of Wales, so some of that culture is still alive, but you really have to go to the north to kind of experience that at its, at its most popular and its most kind of reveled in. Otherwise, you just kind of hear the name, you get kind of these bastardized versions of it. But American culture does find its way into every nook and cranny. It's the American, the American way of life. You find something, this is different. I don't like that. Let's stick a McDonald's there. I like this now.
We don't do that.
Yes, you do. Christianity. Look at all the countries America's invaded for its own.
That's white people. That's not.
No.
That's not us. Like, we don't do that.
No.
Slight difference.
I agree.
I'm just kidding, white people. You don't do that.
But then you look at black people as the example. You look at white America and how much that's been invaded into black communities, into black culture. And then for white, especially white Americans, you won't find much of that here in the UK. How much of black culture is kind of cherry picked, and we like this part of black culture. We don't like those parts of black culture. It's very much, segregation ended a long time ago, but white America is still white America, and they will still,
Well, you shit, man. You sure you don't live here? You sure you don't live here? Yeah, shit. Like, I mean, he's saying everything that. Look, I'll say, okay, so we're gonna get back to ACW, but I just got one more question. While we got you, like, I would be silly if I didn't ask you, this question. As a white cis male, you know what I'm saying, from living, living abroad, living in Europe. What's the view, I guess, of the American black male? I'm curious of like the picture that's painted for you guys there about what that kind of looks like, you know what I'm saying? Because here we're dangerous, we're uneducated, we are more than likely not there for our children, probably unemployed, every other kind of disintegrating thing you can think of that can be. So I'm curious, has that message reached you overseas, or is that something that's just kind of more American propaganda?
I feel American propaganda has definitely had its its influence on kind of our perception of black people. I think it would vary from community to community, house to house, their perception of black people. We don't get a lot of African American here in the UK. We get a lot of Jamaican, African, those kind of regions. And personally, the perception I've always had is, be they African, be they Polish, be they Slovakian, doesn't matter. They're more hardworking than us. Like, we have this argument that it's called Schrodinger's immigrant. Essentially, the UK, we have amazing benefits like free healthcare, government support when it comes to low income. It may not be the best, but we have that support in place. The argument that the right side of politics has is they're coming to take your jobs. They come in to steal, rape your children. They come in to do this. They come in to do that. But at the same time, they're also lazy. They don't want to do anything. So, those two arguments kind of conflict. Me personally, obviously, I have no issue with anyone and everyone unless I have a reason to have an issue with them. And so far, nobody's given me a reason to hate them other than Scottish people. I hate Scottish people, but that's just me. That's just because I am a Welsh patriot. I love Wales. I hate the English. I hate the Scottish. I hate the Irish. But at the same time, like, I'm not a religious man, but we are all here for a reason. There's no reason for us to kind of instinctively hate one race, one religion, one color, one creed, one sexuality. I love everyone, and I want to give everyone a reason to love me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm fully aware of that. But at the same time, we're all brothers. We're all on this horrible, messed up journey through life. We're all going to be buried in the same dirt one day. So what's the point in having this animosity if we're all going to end up dead anyway?
Well said. Well said, my dude. Okay, fuck it. Let's get back to ACW.
Yeah.
Shot, man, yeah, we can do this all night. You already know that. We've had these long conversations late night, so I'm watching the Warriors run away with it against the Trailblazers. What else is new? So Shot, let's go ahead. I actually have some questions. A little game we're going to play, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's a bit of a drinking game, so you're going to have to be down with it if it's okay.
Let me get a drink again then.
Yeah. So he's gonna go ahead and take a break, you know what I'm saying, and get him a drink. Well, shoot, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let's play a song. How about a Shot?
For sure.
Let's do it, bro. Yeah, let's play a song.
At the Players Club, but I ain't paid though. Seen the trick flow select, so say ho. Where your man at? The whole chaser. Won't you put your name and number on a piece of paper so I can hit you later? Got the work home and a pager. Knowing I was in hella good and fading from the get-go. Seemed like a bomb hoe. Hit her up and
my girl's asking if she can be on the show.
It's only crack.
You can be on my show. You know what I'm saying? Like Brandon Hill said.
You know the favorite types of fashion. Asking me what type of shit I like.
This is the Players Club soundtrack. You know what I'm saying?
Rip on the nigga,
and, we inspire a lot of stuff, but they inspired us too. We'll go ahead and say that.
And I breathe. You is like a mystery to me. These feelings I can't deny.
Right. Okay.
I'm good.
Got it. Here we go. All right. So play a little game. So this is a question. Now I stole this game, but I'm gonna change the rules a little bit. So I'm gonna ask you a question. You have to answer it, or you have to drink. Right?
Okay.
It might be this person or that person, or it might just be, straight up. But I'm going to ask you a question. Either you answer it or you have to drink. I'm pretty sure you're the type of guy that's going to answer it anyway. So let's just have some drinks anyway. What do you say?
Yeah, all good to me.
All right, sounds good. First question. Greatest ACW World Heavyweight Champion?
Killer Muller.
Any reason why?
I kind of looked at him early on into his reign as kind of like a one-hit wonder, but he's been pretty fucking good, to be honest. I think between me holding the title and Killer Muller gaining the title, we've had some pretty, low-tier champions. But Killer Muller, he's pretty fucking good. I think he's the superstar of the year this year. So,
who, in your opinion, who's had the best rookie season ever?
Jack Scorpion.
Okay. Yeah. Jack. Best wrestler in NWO Wolfpack. Uh-oh. If you don't want to answer, you just got to drink. It's all good.
Father Mayhem, to be honest. I've got my faults. Father Mayhem, he's the better of the two.
If you could be in any other stable outside of NWO Wolfpack, which one would it be?
Players Club.
Whoa!
Let me,
right.
The one white boy.
There's always a room for a white boy. What you mean, man? There's always room for at least one. You know what I'm saying? You could always roll. Especially you're 6'8", man. You can get us in everywhere, man. With that accent, please. We're gonna clean up around here, baby. We know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I can be the Owen Hart of the,
That was a great run in the Nation. I thought that was an underrated run for Owen Hart. Was his run with the Nation. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. That was great.
Man, that was my shit.
That was a great time. Who was your greatest match against in ACW?
It was a Whitney Abbott match against Lilith.
Okay.
I think it was a half hour, maybe an hour-long Iron Man match that ended in a draw. Nothing gets your asshole going like a rabbit's nose than an hour-long draw.
Okay, yeah, man, that's frustrating too. Person that's got the best of you the most times.
The best.
Yes.
The best what?
The best of you.
This person has your number. If you don't want to tell us who that person is, you don't want to tell them who they are, you can just go ahead and drink too. I wouldn't tell them.
Man, I don't even know.
Then that means you have to drink.
Yeah. What a shame.
I'll take one with you though, bro. Yeah, why not?
Are we doing this? That's what we're doing. Everybody drinking?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to get drunk at 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's what's up. I love it, man. We won't keep you up too long. You know what I'm saying? Then right to sleep.
I'll be good all day.
What's your favorite feud?
As Reese, it's probably Reese versus 9/11 because I dog walked him the entire time, so much that he was too embarrassed to come back for this season. As Whitney, it's probably Whitney versus Celeste.
Gotcha.
It made the Ferocity title the title of the year, the title of the season, the greatest feud.
Good shit.
I was dang, that kind of took the feud out because I was excellent. It was going to be favorite Whitney feud, but shoot, there you go. So, person you haven't feuded with yet, but would like to for Whitney and Reese.
Probably for Reese, it would be Taylor Morgan. To be fair, it's Whitney's kind of run the gambit and feuded with everyone. It's probably going to have to be one of the new additions, like Green Eyed Lady.
Has Whitney gone against Storm yet? I don't know. I'm cloudy, but has that happened yet?
So. I don't think it's come around yet.
Yeah, so I think that's something I'd like to.
No, Whitney fought Brooklyn. Did she fought Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, she fought Brooklyn. Yeah,
okay.
Dog walked her. But
yeah, I'm not talking about it. But anyway,
okay.
Brooklyn ain't Storm. So
here we go. Here's where we get controversy.
Storm ain't the same.
You ready for a shot? Here's where we go messy.
Let's go.
Least favorite competitor in ACW.
Nathan Will.
You want to go on why or not? We don't have to.
No. Let me change that. Not Nathan Will. Hellraiser.
Oh shit. Okay.
I can kind of interlock them into that position at any given time. But it would be a 3-tiered pick: 9/11, Nathan, or Hellraiser, purely because if you lose, they'll promo. If you beat them, nothing. Like, I've feuded with Hellraiser Vendetta 2019. I feuded with 9/11 a lot over my ACW career, in particularly for the heavyweight title not long after I won it for the first time. And you could count the promos on one hand from 9/11. When you beat him, there's nothing, no GG. If anything, you get abuse in messages from him because he hates to lose. But he's a loser.
GG is a tough pill to swallow too, man. Because you know when it comes from the winner, it's real. It's real good. Like, oh, you got to spitefully send it back to like, fuck, GG. Like, I don't want to be an asshole, but that was especially if it was a great match, or if you've been me before, you've been fucking squashed, and you still have to send that GG. Now it seems like you're being condescending, being kind of an asshole because you know it wasn't a GG at all. But you have to do it just to not be an asshole. Okay, Shot, you have one? We're going messy right now, bro.
Me?
Because I don't think he's gonna drink. I think he's gonna say it because Reese is kind of an asshole. So I think he's gonna say it. He's gonna have a full ass glass when we're done.
Nah, go ahead. I ain't got nothing to say about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep drinking.
Most overrated opponent you've had.
Overrated. Oh,
I
man.
know. I said we're gonna be messy, man. The goal is to get you to drink, but if you're not gonna do it, then
I don't have nothing right now.
It's the Prodigy, Mr. Power Rankings of season 4. Like, overrated. I can kick his ass any day of the week. Starting last season, this season, and every season afterwards, we're gonna have an hour-long Iron Man match to, really hammer home who is better between the two of us. He might have ruled the power rankings in season 4, but I was the one who dethroned him. So he is overrated because I know I can beat him any day of the week. And he knows it too.
Last guest, one of our last couple of guests, Prodigy. Did you hear that? Reese Flores just said Prodigy is overrated. That's a headline right
You're
there.
overrated, Prodigy.
Right here.
I'm
gonna fuck you up again.
You know what I'm saying? Give it
not
up.
a headline for the shot.
Yeah. That's awesome. Best promo in ACW.
From my end or just in general?
Yeah, do both. Let's do your best promo in ACW and then who gives the best promo in ACW.
My best promo was against Killer Muller. The greatest promo that I've ever seen. It's an early one, like season 1. It was the 4 champions promo that they were just cutting one promo after the other, all of them in the ring. I still think it's one of the greatest promos ACW's ever seen.
That's awesome. Which faction was that?
They weren't in a faction. It was just 4 people.
Okay.
Remember who they were?
No, can't remember.
Okay.
Very unique idea, though.
Okay. Shoot, man. I guess. Okay. Well, I guess last one for me is the best purgatory, or best purgatory. What do we call it?
Episode
moment.
No. Yeah. Best purgatory moment for you.
The best purgatory moment was the 10 strum salute for Shotty. I don't think any moment has ever come close. No moment has come close. Ask Father Mayhem for the clip if you haven't seen it.
So for those who haven't seen it, just kind of paint the picture for us. What happened?
I need to know.
It was the purgatory after Shotty had sadly passed away. We paid our respects with a 10 strum salute. So I was sitting right where I'm sat right now with my ukulele. Total silence. I'm strumming, just like ding, ding, and I accidentally reached too low, and I go ding, and Father Mayhem just fucking bursts out laughing. We're trying to have this serious moment of respect for our fallen
friend. You know what I'm saying?
And there he is, So then I start laughing because he's laughing, and it just breaks down.
This,
Really?
yeah.
That's fucked up. You didn't even get to 10, did you?
What was that?
Did you ever get to 10?
We did eventually. Like we had to restart, so
See?
it was technically a 20
See?
strums.
They thought it was a joke.
I'll
They
take
thought it was a joke. Yeah, that was a tough moment for us in the Players Club. We were trying to figure out everything that was going on, but we figured it out. So now here are the serious questions, because you were somebody who's been here for a while. You probably got a lot of serious backstage pull, as far as what's able to happen. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. You don't have to say it. Hey man, grease some palms and everything, backstage. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and this is just real simple. If the season is wrapping up, it's been an amazing season, right? And so I guess as we get ready to wrap up, we'll just kind of ask you these questions, and this kind of give your own season awards. These are the Reese Flores, awards for the season. So what do they look like for you? And so we are going to go best women's alpha of the season.
I'm gonna try and not include myself.
No, it's okay. If you feel like Whitney Abbott should be included, then you should include Whitney Abbott.
Maybe not this season. It's not Whitney's season. Last season, absolutely. This season, no. I don't know. This is kind of a tough one. Like we've seen women like Celeste, who were on a tear last season, kind of falter a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say Whitney. I'm gonna be the safe bet.
Liar! It's Storm. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're good, man. Whitney's a hell of a competitor. Accomplished a whole lot here in ACW, and this year has been, I guess, nothing short of what we're used to, from Whitney. So shout out to you for that. Best overall newcomer in ACW, rookie of the year,
Jack Scorpion. He might not be
a rookie.
It might not be his rookie season, but he is relatively fresh to ACW.
Is he a rookie though? I mean, like just start this year, like not necessarily like over the year. Because if Jack is a rookie, then I feel stupid.
Let me take a look. I can find out when he joined ACW.
Man, Mr. Likeable himself. I don't know if there's a more likable dude in ACW than Jack Scorpion.
He joined in 2021, so I wouldn't include him.
Okay. I was about to say, man, I feel so terrible about myself if Jack has accomplished all he has and I've done shit at this point. So
probably Thomas Austin for the rookie of the year.
Thomas Austin?
He's been in a lot of people's mouths when it comes to the superstar of the year. Rookie of the year, absolutely, 110%. Superstar of the year, no.
Okay. Shot, do you have any?
Oh, for woman of the year?
Or I mean, just as far as like asking Reese, what his awards would be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so never mind. Hold on, not that one.
Yeah, we're gonna save some of those heavy hitters for later.
Right, I'm gonna save that one. Okay, so let's compare tag teams.
Oh.
Let's compare Players Club versus Hit Row. What's your opinion?
Players Club.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Shit Row is nothing. Like the wall couldn't lead a thirsty horse to water, let alone a faction. So, no.
Yeah, they've got a secret weapon though, and that motherfucker is really a problem, and is gonna be a thorn of a lot of people's sides as they move forward. And that's Danny Whitney. He's a definite problem. I would love to sit here and be as confident as you with Hit Row. And mind you, I'm saying the Players Club too, just to make sure we're clear. However, it's just one of those things like Rodney Dangerfield tugging at us like, God damn, he's a problem. So Okay, go ahead, shot.
Oh no, I'm good. That's it for me.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot. Well, there we go. Feud of the year, rivalry of the year.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
You know what? Let's do this. Let's go round robin because I want to know what shots is too. Baby, come sit over here. Why are you so far away? Well, my girl's acting like she don't want to sit over here next to me and be on camera. She don't want to be on camera, then you should stay over there. You should stay over there. Then. She's good though. She's fine. You know. Yeah. So okay, are we ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So rivalry of the year, shot. What is it?
Rivalry of the year. Well, you know, you and I had a good rivalry in the beginning of the year. So
you know, people forget that we was beefing at the beginning of the year, bro. Like, I mean, it's one of those things that kind of goes. And that was a good story that we were, you know, able to tell for a little bit. See, you guys were doing a 10-strum salute to Shotty, but you know, to be real, like I was really mad that. Bro, we just started the Players Club. Like we're just out the gates with this thing and starting to pick a momentum. And he's like, "Oh, I'm dead." What the fuck are you talking about? You're dead. And then we talked about it, and I was like, oh, "Okay, well, yeah, I get it. No problem." You know what I'm saying? Like moving on. You know, that's how we kind of resolve stuff. We talk about it and kind of moved on. So I understood that. But yes, man, that was a great feud with some great promos going back and forth to you know, and it was. We knew each other well enough to where it could be personal, you know, and we can kind of say some stuff. So hosting a good feud is a personal one. So, you know, I thought that was that's an underrated one. Nobody really talks about. So if there's,
they forgot about
it's probably not going to win feud of the year. Although I think it led to the best story of the year. If I'm being real, I don't know if there's a better story in the Players Club for the.
That's what I'm saying.
But I will definitely go ahead and say that that was a great one. But yeah. For me, I don't know. Rivalry of the year. I'm being selfish, and I don't want to be selfish, but I'm gonna be selfish. But me and Ghost so far have had a really long, really interpersonal, even of being captains of Vendetta and stuff like that. You know, together, it's like this is a storyline that's happened since like. Before November, you know, getting into November, getting into Alpha Mania, and here we are about to be. It's March, you know, already, and we're still kind of. This isn't over between the two of us. So as far as rivalry of the year, I think there's a matter of telling a story, and Ghost made it personal, and I love it because we've been able to talk about. This should be epic between the two of us. We ever get a chance to do that and everything like that, and so we've been able to kind of do that. So I would probably go ahead. I'm going to be selfish and say, me and Ghost has been the rivalry of the year.
I think thinking on it, Thomas Austin versus King Beast, even though the feud did pretty much go nowhere, I think it was a pretty solid feud. You know, Thomas Austin running through Royal House Mafia like a hot knife through butter. Up until King Beast, and just
that fucker King Beast, bro. He's so frustrating. It's irritating to be against him, man. It's one of those things. And we said tag team of the year, correct? We already said that.
Wolfpack
of the year, no.
Okay, I mean,
I did hear a good argument for that.
You dominate the tag team scene for most of the year. You know, for most of the season, you did dominate. It was traded a little bit back and forth. You know, after you guys. Kind of drop the titles and everything like that, but it's hard to not say Wolfpack. You know, I understand. You know, that's one of those things that's important. Here's a one. I know Shad is waiting to hear this one too. No, actually, we'll do this before we get to that one. Most improved alpha of the year.
Game Killer. Absolutely, Game Killer.
That's Game Killer.
Like the struggle towards the end of the last season to claim the heavyweight title, to this season where he's done superb, not only as champion but as a competitor in ACW, or maybe even the Shot, for example. You know, someone who's done really well this season in comparison to other seasons. It's been your season. This has been the Shot's best
This is the
season.
Shot's year. If there were a superstar of the year, and we're going to get there. You know, if there were, for me, it would be. I mean, the win-loss record has been impeccable and everything, but we're going to get to that part when we get there and everything. But so most improved. You say killer, game killer, Shot, most improved.
No, Killer Muller, not Game Killer.
Killer Muller. I'm sorry, forgive me. Yes, Killer Muller.
My mistake. No. Too many killers.
No, you're good.
Not enough Chris's or Clives or a normal name.
Killer Muller. So my bad, Game Killer. You're still really good. We're just not talking about you now. But yeah, so Killer Muller. Shot. Go ahead, bro.
Most improved. Really, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna give a shout out to the Wall. The Wall has. I know. Shut up, Reese. The Wall has taken the championship from me.
Shout out to Wall, our last guest on After Hours. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Shout out to Wall.
I gotta shout out the Wall. I gotta speak his name. We got a thing. So yeah, that's my dude. I gotta talk about him. And he's cool. He's cool as shit. But nah, he did come up. He's actually been doing some shit. Like he's got agents who are actually doing some things too. You know, Victoria Frost. She ain't no chump. So I think he's made a mark. He's done some things this season that are improvements from previous years.
It's just a shame that his promos haven't improved.
I'm not talking about promo. I'll be right back on that note. I'm not talking about his promos. I will be right back.
The Shot's gonna go ahead and come back first for a minute. But until then, I got Reese here, and we're gonna continue to do our back and forth. So I don't know. My most improved for the year. Jeez, man. I don't know. It's a tough one. I would probably, have to go with I'd probably have to go with Wall as well, to be real. You know what I'm saying? I've seen kind of how he's improved and with some improvements to the system, to the game. Like, he's been able to get, a lot better, at stuff. And so, yeah, I think Wall has been an amazing competitor this year as well, especially as you're talking about somebody who's gotten better and taken steps forward. I can't vote for myself because I feel like that's cheesy and I'm not going to do that. But I think I should win every award if I'm being honest. But, this is not a perfect world and I'm not going to win all those. So, but I do think Wall is somebody who's incredibly deserving. But also with that said, I think a lot can be said for the Shot this year, man, as far as most improved. It's just kind of one of those things like, he doesn't. We always talk, and he was like, I was like, man, we don't need you to say a lot for Players Club. Like we get it. Like, what I'm saying, we get what you do, man. I deliver the message. The message goes out. You know what I'm saying, come in and kind of do your thing. So I think if they were most improved, like he's been a top 10 dude as far as overall being in the power rankings every time. He's been top 7. He was top 10 one time, and top 12 I think right now. Like that's a big deal. So I would probably say for most improved because I feel like Superstar of the Year is probably one of those things that it's probably going to go to somebody that's held some singles championship gold for a long period of time. But I think my pick would either be between Wall or Shot. Those are my two picks for most improved of the year. Champion of the year. Much different than Superstar of the Year, but Champion of the Year. There have been dudes who held multiple championships throughout the year. There are people that held singles titles, through the year. Some people are holding singles and tag team titles. So, in your opinion, Champion of the Year?
If you'd have asked me a few months ago, it would have been King Beast. With that America's title reign, so close to breaking the record
for the year, yeah,
so close. Only to stumble at the last hurdle. It's heartbreaking. He could have easily still have been champion right now, but unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm going to say Mr. Diaz as submission champion. Not the greatest submission champion we've ever seen. That goes to Jack Scorpion, but for the year, Mr. Diaz. I got no issues giving the man his props. I want to kill him for damaging my eye and everything, but as submission champion, he's done.
Oh, that is why you wear the eye patch. Okay. Ding ding. I thought you just want you like pirate culture.
No.
That's what you did to your eye. Okay. Ding ding ding. All right. Shot.
Yeah.
The question is champion of the year.
Champion of the year. I was on the same page as Reese. I was going to say King Beast, and I'm not sure I'm going to change my answer for that because he may not have topped the reign of another champion, but he still did pretty good. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna go for that one for champion of the year. I'm gonna go with King Beast.
I'm gonna go King Beast as well. Just a long reign. I have to, unfortunately, I'm a part of that reign, so I'm actually like the beginning of that reign of terror of his, so I like to think that I had something to do with King Beast kind of stepping his game up and that whole piece. But yeah, man, King Beast, it's hard to argue with not just the wins, but the amount of dominant wins that they were. Like they weren't close, so much so that I think we all kind of talked to each other like, oh, this can't be real. Like there's no way I'm this bad and he's this good, type thing. But yeah, he is that good. So I'd probably go King Beast as well. Moving on, before we get to Superstar of the Year, Faction of the Year. So many amazing factions here in ACW. There is, of course, the Hate Club, Aces and Eights. There is, of course, the NWO Wolfpack. There is, of course, the Players Club. There is fucking La Raza. Just everything out there. Hit Row. Every club. Toxicity. There's so many, amazing factions out there that are really holding it down for their groups. In your opinion, Reese Flores, Faction of the Year.
Hate Club. I'm gonna, put my hands up and give a non-biased answer.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, when you hold all the belts, like it's it's hard to not say that. And again, Diaz has been great. You have you got Game Killer, at this point. Like you built yourself a great roster over there. So it's hard not to say.
And Piranha too.
Piranha, no, can't forget about Piranha. I think Piranha gets forgotten about in that mix sometime with everything that's happened. I think it's easy to kind of forget him, but you shouldn't because Piranha's he's an original too, yeah. And he's a founding father, and so it's important that you make sure you remember that Piranha is amazing in the ring. Like you can get your ass whipped real fast, but that's how good they are. It's easy to forget that like they're probably their least known or at least paid attention to member can still beat the shit out of you. Shot.
Faction of the Year. Obviously, it's the Players Club. Who else has done more this year than the Players Club? Nobody. We're the ones who are running this show right here, right now.
I wouldn't say it, but
man, you know what it is. We added 2 young guns to this club. Happen to be my bloodline, and they've been performing very well. And you can't name another faction who has been able to, first of all, form 2 of the greatest people, put us together, Rashad Taylor and The Shot. We are together. And then you got 2 more of these young guns who are in here just wrecking shop. There's no other faction in here you can name that has done the things that we've done this year. Including, the first ever nephew and uncle tag team champions.
Bloodline. Real life bloodline.
2-time. Real life bloodline. 2-time.
How many times?
2 times.
I just want to hear you say it again. Twice. So listen, it's hard to argue with championships, right? So I'll be hard pressed to not say the Hate Club. I think it's a good answer. I think it's a great answer. If you're asking me who's been, and I'm biased, and I don't know, and forgive me, but the Players Club this year has given you a rivalry within the club. So we've given you a 5-star match in between there. Go look it up. You know, we had, you know, and then then after that, we were able to form the Players Club. You know, have a group of 2-time tag team champions in between there. Introduce a new young gun who looks like he's on his, you know, trending, you know, upwards at this point in Menace. Coolest guys on the block, man. Like, I mean, it's really it's one of those things. Like, and who doesn't benefit from talking shit about the Players Club? Everybody does. It's one of those things. Like when we've noticed the pops, and we talked about it on Purgatory as one of those things we're gonna, you know, what is, I want to hear you say it. Reese, go ahead one more time.
You hear what?
I want to hear. Well, you know, we talked about it on Purgatory as far as you know, people mentioning the Players Club's name for clout. You know,
clout by association.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So we appreciate it and everything, but I think for those reasons, like I don't see a lot of people just mentioning Hate Club just for the sake of mentioning, you know, Hate Club, or because they went against Piranha, they mentioned, you know, Hate Club. It's just one of those things. So I just don't see it happen. We kind of let our flags, you know, fly, you know, real high as far as Players Club is concerned. And so as far as Faction of the Year, like we've got a theme song. Like we've got a Titantron. Like we have a
matter of fact, is it not just all? Don't we all have theme songs?
We've got a talk show. Like I mean, Players Club's pretty dope. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, like, mind you, no disrespect to everyone, because everybody is super dope. But for now, for this year, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's us for multiple reasons. So moving on from there and getting to the nitty gritty, man. Alpha of the Year.
Killer Muller. Easy Killer Muller.
Shot.
Alpha of the Year. That's a hard one. I don't know if I want to give that credit out yet. I have to do a little bit more research.
Bro, the year is over.
Huh?
We got like 3 weeks left in the season.
Exactly. And I don't know if I want to give it to somebody else.
Man, gun to your head, nigga. What you mean?
Other than myself?
Right now, or I'm shutting the show down and I'm blowing, like, you know what I'm saying? You got to choose today. That's what you got to do.
Man, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm always looking at myself as the superstar of the year. I'm the shot. God damn it. I'm heard around the world. Come on now.
I heard it.
I'm on everything. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I'm superstar of the year.
We're guess what? We're streaming from at least 2 of them motherfuckers right now.
Exactly.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Here.
Like we're out here.
Are we talking about a superstar?
That's a solid one. The Soul Train Awards from 2001. It's about to be dope. Superstar of the Year. Oh man, it's tough not to. I'm torn between King Beast, but I think Killer Muller. You know, he's the guy. He's been the benchmark, you know, for the year as far as and there's been some great guys. I think Diaz has done a great job of, you know, carrying his title and, you know, coming up with great promos, great content, you know, things of that nature. So I think Diaz has been one of those guys too. And it's hard to forget about him. And, you know, even guys without the, you know, the belt, you know, if you could share a thing, and I'm sure they'd be okay with it. Alex Bradley and Razor Rogers would be okay with, you know, being 2 guys that held that title together, like co-alphas of the year. I'm sure that's something they could run with for a while. But yeah, I probably say Killer Muller too. I think he's been great for this year, and been a lot of fun to see. But yeah, bro. But man, Reese, bro. You deserve your flowers, and just in case they didn't know, we're going to show it again because you are a 3-time hardcore champion. You are a 2-time ACW heavyweight champion. You are a tri-tag team champion, intercontinental champion, ACW tag team champion. You know, a Triple Crown winner. You know, a second ever Triple Crown winner. So you've done it all here. You've been everything, and you've been one of the most gracious guests that we can ask for, my guy. And I know it's super early or late, depending on how you're looking at it, where you are. But either way, we thank you for staying up with us and fucking
For sure.
with this club tonight, man. You're awesome, and you've invited us in so many times for Purgatory to make sure we can help y'all out on your show. So we appreciate you helping us. So, man, thank you so much.
You're very welcome,
man. Absolutely, bro. Anything you want to say for the people on your way out?
Just want to say thank you for all the hard work that every alpha has put into this season. Thank you to management for managing to keep us all motivated and, keeping us as alphas, keeping us at the best of our ability, no matter what dog shit is thrown our way, no matter how bad the games are. Just thank you. Thank you for everything. And thank you to you two as well for kind of offering this more casual, kayfabe breaking opportunity for the people of ACW. Obviously, Purgatory is a very hostile environment at times, and it can be a little bit intimidating, but something like this, where you can have a more casual, laid-back conversation, not just about ACW, but about other things too.
That's we wanted this to be a place where we can just excuse me, a lot of amazing people, that are all over the world. You know what I'm saying? As we talk to you live and in person from Wales, you know what I mean? So there are so many great people here that do this. And again, everybody that's here at ACW is the best in the world. I don't care what you say. You know what I'm saying? They're best people in their country. In most cases, they're the best people in their region. There's nobody here better than me in the Northwest, and I'm sure the Shot knows the same about being in the VA Philly area and stuff like that. So same for you. So it's always a pleasure to have like-minded people and just talking about real shit. Sometimes just have a drink and talk about the race relations between America and the UK. So
I think people forget that we're people behind the characters. Like we're humans behind Reese Flores, Taylor Morgan, The Shot. And
that's what we want to meet. And that's at the end of the day, we want to meet the human behind the person. And some of y'all might not want to come on. You want to show your face. Fine. That's fine. Leave your, icon on, whatever. We just want to make sure we get a chance to talk to them. So Reese, thank you for coming to talk to us, my guy. We hopefully will see you in Purgatory this
Absolutely.
Thursday. That's what's up, man. He's Reese Flores. He is Whitney Abbott, man. He is a multiple-time champion. He is a representative to the LGBTQ community. He wants to make sure that everybody feels accepted here in ACW, and we appreciate you for coming to fuck with us here on After Hours. Cheers, man. Absolutely. That's Reese Flores, man. So
I'm back again. Hey.
Oh, you're back again. But hey, man, one more drink. I say why not, man?
Reese Flores.
Mm-hmm. All right, this time for real. Thank you, Brody. Okay, won't do that again. My bad. Man, Sean, that was fun, bro.
Yeah, man. It was good.
It's always good when you have somebody that has a lot to say and somebody that has a big pedigree here and a lot going. So that was a lot of fun. Shout out to the text. I see we got a message from Rain Banks, which is always
I was going to mention that.
Super entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Right. Shout out to Haku Oxley for texting in as well. Also saying that the alpha of the year could be a woman, which is incredibly plausible. At least 4 or 5 of them come to mind. So you're absolutely right. That could very well be the case. So, Shop, man, I don't know about you, but I got a little tenderoni over here that, she's laughing in the background. She liked that. So I'm going to see what's to her tonight. But it's always good to have you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Are you on where are you on Mayhem tonight? I'm still waiting to have my match. I'm not sure.
I have to look at the card. I haven't even seen the card. The card out?
Oh, yeah, I think it's been out. Yeah, so I don't want to check that part out. But, yeah, I think, for tomorrow. But, no, I haven't had mine yet, so we'll see how that turns out from Chaos, actually. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But we'll see. Shout out to all my competitors anyway. But, my guy.
I'm off this week.
That's a good thing, man. I should be off this week as well, but captain's got to do what the captain's got to do, which hopefully go out there and win some matches. So I appreciate you as always, my dude.
No problem, man.
What you on tonight?
Yo, I was
You
on
on the Harry Potter. I already know you on the Harry Potter. Just say you on the Harry Potter.
No, I was going to say that, but
Yeah.
Destiny 2 Lightfall dropped today, and that's what I've been on all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I've been watching I watched the Source Awards last night, like the one with the East West Coast stuff.
I was about to say about the old shit because they were
Yeah. I pulled it up on YouTube, bro, and start watching that shit. And so tonight I'm about to watch one of the Soul Train Awards, which is a little more like R&B
right
kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
it should be fun. Listen to some singing for a little bit, man. So, well, man, thank you guys for fucking with us for the evening, man. Shot, it's always good to have a drink with my guy, for a little bit and
what it is.
with somebody. And if you want to be a part of After Hours at the Players Club, not a problem. Just hit me up, hit the shot up, say I want to be on After Hours at the Players Club, and guess what? You can be on our show in my Varnell Hill voice. So that's how we're gonna do that. So, but
message me on all social media. It don't matter. I'm on all of them. You can find me. It's the Shot or the Shot 7800 or the _ Shot 7800. You can find me. I'm out here. Message me if you want to be on the show. We'll get you on here.
And I'm at TaylorMade503. That's on the Instagram. That's on the Twitter, which I don't really use either of them, but you're free to get at me for both of those. Or, you can find me at TaylorMade503 on Twitch, which if you're watching now, if you'll be watching later, thank you for following. You can also watch me and the Shots Twitch at the same time or whichever one you want. It's going to be the same show.
I mean, we got to
depending on who you want to support at that point, that's all good. This fool got more followers. I'm just saying. So
you get more views, so yeah.
hate. So all right, man. Well, so I'm gonna get at you, bro. So for my guy, Alan Scott, the Shot. I'm Rashad Taylor Morgan. We're gonna holler at y'all. Thanks for chilling.